A lot of people ask me, Beef, should I pull on this banner? Is it worth spending my dragon stones on this banner? To which I usually respond, probably not. So, it's been a while. We missed the last banner, the Ultimate Gohan banner, but you probably didn't really need me telling you that that's a really good unit to have. If I remember correctly, the banner didn't have very good other cards on there, but that's kind of par for the course. God, I can't talk. Pretty par for the course for a big name card, our unit, whatever you want to call them, to get released in a sea of general pool SSR cards that aren't that great, and Dokkan Fest exclusives that weren't a bit aged. But my memory's probably failing me. There's probably at least one or two other decent units on there. But who cares about Ultimate Gohan? I don't. Nobody does. All 5 fans out there probably do, which I appreciate your enthusiasm. But let's go and look at the Dokkan Fest we have. It's a dual Dokkan Fest, one for Gotenks and one for Majin Buu, as if we haven't had enough Majin Buu Saga units for the past year. I mean, honestly, I forgot that there's other sagas in Dragon Ball Z that aren't Majin Buu Saga. Because it's been nothing but Majin Buu Saga units worth talking about pretty much this entire year. But whatever, let's not worry about that too much. So again, Gotenks and Majin Buu. Real exciting stuff. Alright. So, full disclosure, I've looked into these banners already, and honestly, the units that are accompanying this banner, that accompany the jackpot card, aren't that great. At least on the good side. On the bad side, I should say the Majin Buu side of the Dokkan Fest, they're a little more palatable. The ones on this banner you're probably not going to get too excited about. So let's go ahead and open up the handy dandy SSR reader so we can have a look at Gotenks first. First off, I just want to say I don't like the card art. It doesn't look good. There's something about it that doesn't look great. But ignoring that, the unit's actually pretty good. One thing I feel devalues the card is its leader skill. It gets special pose, category key +4, HP attack and defense plus 170%, and youth category key +3, HP and attack 170%, and defense plus 130%. Special pose kind of devalues the card. Just have a quick look here at what this particular category has to offer. It's not anything really great. The LRs that you can run with it aren't that spectacular. This is the best one out of all of them. This one is okay. These two you'll probably never run with this Gotenks because they're the kind of like niche units that you would really only run with their respective cars, like Ginyu Force cars, and not really anything else. All the other units here range from okay to meh, so until they get some sort of like special Ginyu Force cards or LRs or something that make them worth using on a special pose team, you're probably not going to be using any of these units on a special pose team anytime soon. Youth category, on the other hand, is more useful. There's a lot more LRs that you'll want to use on this one. Any of the Super Saiyan 2 Gohan units. B-Pan is obviously pretty good. This dude, when he EZAs, is great. And there's a lot of other pretty solid units on this particular category that you can use. But you probably won't, because there's better categories than youth to run. So again, I feel like the leader skill devalues the Gotenks card, which is unfortunate. Because you think it would have been like Fusion or something. Like, if they just swapped out Youth for Fusion and given us like Youth instead of Special Pose, I feel like this unit would have been better. But obviously they wanted to lead this particular unit with Special Pose because they wanted it as a... I don't even know if it's technically a new category. Yeah, it's more or less a quote-unquote new category. Like, obviously, from the looks of it, JP's had it for a while, but that doesn't really matter that much. All right, so the super attack greatly raises defense for 1 turn. I believe that's 50%? Yes, 50%. And causes immense damage to the enemy. So he's going to be hitting pretty hard. Key +1, attack and defense plus 100%. Transform when conditions are met. Conditions are transformed starting from the 3rd turn from the start of the battle. So he transforms pretty early, which is great, into Super Saiyan Gotenks. We'll talk about that here in a second. Link skills, not that great. Signature pose, again, that's probably something that you'll see a lot of in like the special pose category from those units. Saiyan Warrior Race, Saiyan Lineage, sure, you'll see that a lot. Innocence, not so much. Fuse Fighter, you'll probably be running this unit on a fusion team, so you're going to see that get used a lot. Supreme Power, maybe not so much. And Fierce Battle, fairly regularly. You'll probably see Fierce Battle fairly regularly. He's got a shitload of categories, so look at that. Fusion, Hybrid Saiyans, Majin Buu Saga, Super Saiyan 3, Transformation Boost, Youth, Super Saiyans, Final Trump Card, Special Pose, Rapid Growth, and Saviors. Out of all those, you're probably going to be using this guy in like Fusion and Majin Buu Saga the most. Super Saiyan 3 category, I don't like that. I don't like Super Saiyan 3 as a category. It's not that great. Transformation Boost. You could probably make an argument for putting this guy on Transformation Boost. Youth and Super Saiyans. Why wouldn't you have this unit on there? Because it's that good of a unit to throw on there. Final Trump Card, Special Pose, Rapid Growth, Saviors. Maybe not so much. Like, you're probably just not going to run those categories, period. Like, you could probably make an argument for having this unit on all of its categories, but why would you run those categories when there's stuff like Fusion and Hybrid Saiyans and Majin Buu Saga and Transformation Boost and Super Saiyans? There's a lot that you can run this guy on, but why would you? Unless the game is forcing you to use those particular categories and they're not relegating you to just free-to-play units, you could probably slot this guy in there. So he transforms into Super Saiyan Gotenks. Spoiler alert, it's like every other transformation card. He gets a little better, and he gets his passive increases a little bit. So he greatly raises defense for 1 turn. I believe that's 50% again. Yes, and causes immense damage to the enemy with great chance of stunning the enemy. Anybody who's been 70% chance. Wow, that's pretty strong, actually. That's great for stuff like Super Battle Road. But anybody who's watched my analysis videos knows that I'm not super enthusiastic about. I'm not super enthusiastic about stunning and sealing moves because there's a lot of endgame content where that shit just doesn't apply. A lot of the units are immune to stun, immune to seal. So you are just better off running units that stack defense in those endgame content if you're really serious about clearing it. I'm not sure if this guy stacks defense, but if he does, then you might want to consider him for where he's applicable. So passive skill increases is quite a bit better now. Key +2 attack and defense +100%, high chance of attack +50%, and an additional high chance of attack +50%. So it's 50% each, according to this. High chance of defense +50% and an additional high chance for another 50%. So you're basically flipping a coin. It seems like every time this guy comes out, his stats are going to be different, which is unfortunate. I prefer him to be a little more consistent, but he already comes out the gate with attack and defense +100%, and if you get an extra 50% of each, that's still actually really good. But in those instances, I think it's like something like 25% maybe that you get all of his stuff activated. He's going to hit like a truck. Medium chance of launching an additional super attack. That's like, what, 25%? Yeah, 25%. So when the stars align and you have this unit out, he's going to do a spectacular amount of damage, actually. He also transforms into Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, which is something we'll talk about here in a second. Can be activated when HP is 70% or more, starting from the 4th turn after transformation. So when they say 4th turn after transformation, I'm assuming they don't mean the 4th turn total of the battle. I guess you have to wait another 4 turns to transform again. That makes this Gotenks, in my opinion, a little not as viable, because how many, I mean, even some endgame content, how many times are you going to hit 7 turns and still get any value out of a transformation card like that? It's hard to make a case for that. But he, as far as link skills go, he gets Super Saiyan and Golden Warrior, both of which are fairly common in a lot of the categories that you're going to consider putting him on, like Fusion, Hybrid Saiyans, Majin Buu Saga, definitely Super Saiyans and Super Saiyan 3. So let's say you're having a particularly tough time on Super Battle Road or something, and you're somehow at 7 turns into the fight. Now you have Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Greatly raises attack and defense for 3 turns. That's 50% multiplier, pretty good. Immense damage, high chance of stunning the enemy. I think that's still 70%. Wait, wasn't it 70% before? Yeah, why'd the chance go down? That's really weird. So he gets attack and defense +100%, plus an additional attack +100% when performing a super attack. Key +3 and a great chance of launching an additional super attack for 4 turns from start of turn. That's a 70% chance to launch an additional super attack. I think I like that. I think I like that trade-off. You lose 20% chance to stun the enemy for 2 turns for a 70% chance to launch an additional super attack. So he's going to be doing a lot of damage. The only problem is he loses that extra bit of tankiness that he had as Super Saiyan Gotenks. I'm not sure I agree with that. But it is what it is. Link skills, he gains limit breaking form Super Saiyan and over in a flash. And the rest of his links besides Fused, Fighter, and Fierce Battle are probably not going to see a ton of. Maybe Supreme Power fairly often, but Super Saiyan and over in a flash, Fused, Fighter, Fierce Battle, those are the ones that are going to be activated the most. So he'll I mean, he's going to pull his weight as a completely new transformation unit. Although, in my personal opinion, as I said before, the leader skills set him back. Just the fact that he's int sets him back, because the evasion, like 5% evasion as opposed to like 10% crit chance or 10% additional attack chance, it's just not, or yeah, 10%. It's not a good trade-off. And anybody who's known me for a long period of time knows that I just, how do I even say it? Like, how do I even form it into words? I just don't like intelligence or physical units. Physical has gotten better over the years, but it's still kind of meh in my opinion. And intelligence is just like, it's where good units go to die. Like, this one could have been like strength or agility, and it would have been a million times better. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I would change about this particular unit to make it better, but it's just not gonna happen. This is what you see is what you get. It's not that it's a bad unit, it's just that there's aspects of this particular unit that aren't that great. Alright, moving on. So, after a mediocre Gotenks showing, we also have the Super Saiyan 2 Goku Angel. This particular card, I believe we've talked about this before. It's the one that transforms into Super Saiyan 3 Goku. This is actually still a really good card. Definitely not the best card in the game. But if you pull this one, I'd say it's like a pseudo jackpot. Like, you can find a lot of good categories to run this guy on, and he's gonna pull his weight, absolutely. Then we have the versus Android 17 Piccolo, the one that fuses with Kami. I actually don't even know if I've talked about this guy before, but he has a Namekian's category, which in my opinion is completely defunct as a category. Like, there's no reason to ever run Namekians, because unless you're like super duper endgame, I happen to have all the Namekian cards, and they all have like most of their hidden potential open. There's really no reason to run Namekian's category. Worthy rivals, you could probably make a argument for running this card as a worthy rivals category lead if you have nothing else. But this guy's really strong. Considering he's a Piccolo card, I don't know if I'd call him a jackpot card, but he's still really strong. Where you can slot this guy in, he's going to pull his weight, and he's going to do a ton of damage, and he's going to not die particularly quickly, if I remember correctly. Yeah. He reduces damage received by 40% and has defense plus 120%. That's pretty wild. Like, this is a really good unit. But, again, he's held back by physical and the fact that he's a Piccolo unit. Still a decent card to pull. This particular Trunks is like the bane of my existence. I don't know why he even shows up, but still a really strong card. The only problem with him is that you have to feed him a lot of key spheres to get him to a point where he's going to be doing damage comparable to, I mean, not even just damage, but like tankiness too, comparable to any other units you might run on a category alongside this character. But I do believe he gets a, I could have swore he got a an active skill, but whatever the case is, I mean, it's still a decent unit, but you might have a bit of a hard time justifying putting him into specific categories, because usually if you're gonna run him on, let's say, let's look at his categories. Future Saga, or Time Travelers, or Hybrid Saiyans, there's better options. Vegeta's family, you could probably make an argument for it. Transformation Buu, Super Saiyans, Bond of Master and Disciple, Revenge, Battle of Wits. Super Saiyans, maybe. Those other ones, why would you even run those categories? So, like, they're kind of not even really worth considering. But he's here, and if you pull him and you don't have him already maxed out, even though he's on, like, every fucking banner, then it's an okay pull. Super Saiyan Agility, Super Saiyan Gogeta. There's really nothing to say about this particular card. He's still incredible. Still one of the best fusion cards in the game. He leads two great categories. It's easy to fill out a decent movie heroes and fusion category team, because fusion cards are, again, all over the place. His passive is really good. High chance of evading enemies' attack. I think that's like a coin flip. Fronts a critical hit when attacking always. This card pumps out damage, and if you don't have this card, even though it's been around for quite a while now, since I think it's like over a year old now, almost, something like that. I mean, if it's not a year old now, it's closing in on that right now. It's been a while. I can't really remember when they released this unit, but if you don't have this card already, it's a good card. I'd even say that even with its age now, I would consider it a jackpot card still. And if you haven't maxed this guy out, pushing him towards 100% just makes him even better. So, great unit. No matter what sort of banner it's on. So I'll always welcome Agility Super Gogeta. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks physical. He kind of got usurped by the tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks because his EZA makes him vastly superior to this guy. And of course he's physical. So, if this guy gets an EZA in like a year and a half, 2 years, when they come back to Majin Buu Saga and they're like, oh, let's make some more, then I would say that he'll probably be considerably better just because power creep. It'll make him better than this guy. I believe the rest of the units are just featured SRs to help you boost Piccolo's super attack for whatever fucking reason, but that's it for the Gotenks banner. Overall, I'd say it's like a 6 out of 10. There's really only about like 3 units, maybe 4 of them that you could argue are good units, but a lot of them have shown up a lot. And banners, even as of recently, that you probably already have. And then if you're a whale or even a dolphin, you probably have them capped out at 100%. So seeing them on the banner, you're like, ugh. Could be better card units on there. But let's go ahead and move on to what I consider to be a better banner for the Majin Buu banner. Just like Gotenks, this is a transformation card. So let's go ahead and hop over to the handy dandy SSR viewer so we can have a look and see why this particular unit is so much better, in my opinion, to the Gotenks unit. Leader skill, Majin power. We recently had LR Bootanks, which was the Majin power category leader, and yet here we have another one. Artificial life forms. Shoot, I think the Bootanks is the leader for that one too. I haven't really looked at it in a while, so don't quote me on that. But Majin power artificial life forms, not spectacular categories in my opinion, but Majin power, there's so many good Majin units now that if you happen to have those, you can definitely make an argument for running Majin power as a for like endgame content. Because a good Majin team with like some of the top tier units, it's almost impossible to die. Greatly raises attack for 1 turn, super attack multiplier 50%, which is nice. Causes immense damage to the enemy. Key +1 and attack plus 100%. Notice there's no defense, but that's because it reduces damage received by 40%. If it actually had got a defensive boost, it would be, but it doesn't. But it exchanges with Majin Buu, Majin Buu, pure evil, starting from 3rd turn from the start of battle. So exactly like Gotenks, if I remember correctly. Pretty common link skills for Majin Buu unit: Majin, the Innocence, Kamehameha, Infinite Regeneration, Revival, the Wall Standing Tall, Fierce Battle. Pretty par for the course. Most Majin units have 4 or more of these particular link skills, so it's really easy to run this unit alongside other Majin units and get the most out of their link skills. So once it transforms into Majin Buu, God, I can't talk. Majin Buu, pure evil, greatly raises attack for 1 turn, causes immense damage to enemy, and seals super attack. So it seals super attack, not that great of a bonus. The super attack multiplier, as you can see here, doesn't change any. But he gets a little bit of extra ki, gets a little bit of extra attack, still reduces damage received by 40%. High chance of stunning the attacked enemy. That is 40%. Not bad, actually, not bad. So not only does he have a chance to stun, but he also seals. So that's good for when you run into content where that stuff can actually make a difference. A medium chance. So he's probably good for Super Battle Road. Definitely, like you could run him on Extreme Tech. I'm sure there's a Majin Power, and there's Majin Buu Saga. There's probably several categories that you can run him on. Medium chance of evading enemy super attacks. So even 25% doesn't seem like much, but it's still something. So the active skill allows him to absorb Majin Buu. Good. When HP is 70% or more, starting from the 4th turn after exchange. Okay, so it's exactly like Gotenks in that particular regard. He gains Brutal Beatdown, Berserker, and Fear and Faith, which kind of sucks. You don't really see those a lot on Majin units, if I remember correctly. But once he absorbs Good Buu, he becomes Super Buu, which, as if we didn't have a million of those units already. But the good news is, yay, he gets defense now. Woo! So he gets defense. He raises attack by 50% and defense by 50%. So that's better than nothing. Still seals super attack. I don't think he stuns anymore, though. Yep, doesn't stun anymore. Ki +3 makes him more or less self-sufficient in terms of like ki economy. But because he's on an LR, he doesn't need it as much, because in a lot of cases, you're going to be walking into a turn not even considering link skills with like 6-7 ki before link skills. Like after link skills, you probably are already capped out. You don't even need that ki +3, so it feels kind of pointless. Like it's a nice gesture. It means that you don't have to worry about how many orbs you get with him. Reduces damage received by 50%, so you can just like, with that 50% defense, that extra 50% defense, you're also slashing damage, incoming damage, by 50%, which is spectacular. Chance performing critical hit plus 12% per rainbow key sphere obtained. So, gosh. What is that? Like, let's say you happen to get 5 rainbow key spears. That's 60% chance to crit. So you can pour most of his hidden potential into additional attack. Like, this particular unit is absolutely an insane candidate for just additional attack. You don't even need more crit. But even with that extra bit of crit, he's still more than likely going to crit almost every turn if you get at least 2 or 3 key spheres, rainbow key spheres. He retains Brutal Beatdown, but he gains Metamorphosis, and he keeps Fear and Faith, according to this. So, Metamorphosis, it's not bad. I think that gives you HP. Yeah. At level 10, it's 5% HP, attack and defense plus 10%. Still a better card than Gotenks, just simply for the fact that he's tech. He's technique for his type. Leader skill is infinitely better. His super attack, I mean, if this unit had more defense, I would probably be more apt to sing this card's praises, but it's better than the Gotenks, but unfortunately, that's kind of a low bar to hurl, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Okay, so we're done with that one. Still a good card. If you like to run Majin teams, you're probably going to want to try to pull this card, just simply for the fact that it's going to link really well with the Majins that you have already, and it's going to do a ton of damage. The only problem is, again, like Gotenks before it, because it takes so long to actually reach its Super Boost stage where it gets those benefits, I don't know. I definitely would rank it higher than the Gotenks if I have to compare the two of them. But it still suffers a little bit from the same problems. The same problem that Gotenks has in terms of how long you have to wait just to transform them. Is what it is. Let's look at the other particular units that are on this particular banner. The Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta that transforms into Majin Vegeta. It's basically like the opposite of the Super Saiyan 3 transformation Goku card from the Gotenks banner. But this guy has, instead of other World Warriors, the Super Saiyan 3 category, he has Super Saiyan 2 category and Resurrected Warriors. There's not too much difference. There's a lot of overlap in Resurrected Warriors and other World Warriors, but there's still good leader skills. Once he's actually Majin Vegeta, as you can see, he has a fucking novel for passives for his passive skill. I don't really want to sign off on this guy being like a jackpot card, but he's still a really good card, a really good unit. Sorry, I keep using unit and card interchangeably, my bad. But he's still good. He's sort of edging in on jackpot territory. When it comes to Majin Vegeta cards, they've always left kind of like a bad taste in my mouth. But this is a really good unit for a Majin Vegeta unit, considering most of them are pretty bad. So again, that's a low bar for it to jump. But the Strength Super Buu. A lot of people don't like this unit, but I really wish they would look into units that had multiple transformation paths. Because I believe it's depending on the amount of HP that you have left on the 5th turn. Between like 80, yeah. Between 180%, 180%, 1579, and then anything lower than 49%. It's not that these are bad, it's just that they're not great. Like, I would still run him on like a Majin Power team, but it's tough to make a case for this guy in a lot of different categories. A lot of people don't like this unit, but I do. I think it's a good unit. I wouldn't call it a jackpot card by any stretch of the imagination, but if you don't have this unit yet, or you don't have him 100%, it's good to have him 100% because he still has utility in a lot of different places, like particular categories and Super Battle Road, stuff like that. But I believe we've talked about this guy at length before. Probably not. I don't really remember because it's all kind of a blur for me sometimes. But the Super Buu is still a good card. Not a jackpot card, but it's still a good card. This particular card is actually pretty good. The Zamasu, the Agility Zamasu. One of the biggest issues that I have with this particular unit is that Fusion Zamasu, like this particular unit, you don't really want to push him past this particular form once you transform him. Because there's really no reason to do it. Like, he gets stronger when he becomes Fusion Zamasu. Like, he does a shit ton of damage. The only problem is he takes a little bit away from the superclass allies on your team. So if you're going to run him on a category, if you want to push him to this point, you probably want to just have him with any of the other million Goku Black units on a relevant category. But the animation is really good. Animation for this card is super good. I have this guy. I use him. I don't really use him on Fusion, or Potara. But I definitely slot him in if I'm doing like Future Saga or Time Travelers or something. Because then I can just make like a full Goku Black team, and he runs really well with that particular team. Don't know if I'd call him a jackpot card, because by now he's been on a ton of banners. So you probably, if you don't at least have him, you probably have him almost maxed out by now. And if you don't have him maxed out, if you're going to be pulling on this banner, you might by that point. This guy, don't know if I'd call him a jackpot card either, but if you're the sort of person that goes hard on World Tournament, you want this unit. Odds are you probably have him, because like Zamasu, he's been on every fucking banner. But spectacular for World Tournament. Like, I don't think there's a better World Tournament unit than this guy, and that's saying something because he's physical. Ugh. He's fine. Nobody likes that. Yeah, gross. Don't know if it's a jackpot card. This guy I would consider a jackpot card. He doesn't show up particularly often, but the Wicked Bloodline category, having him as a lead for that is really good. He hits like a truck. Core appears when HP is 50% or below. I think that's like a rage mode for this guy. I don't know if it's exactly like giant form or like grade 8 transformations. I don't remember off the top of my head. But this guy hits like a truck on relevant teams and makes you hard to kill. Definitely a good unit to have. I would definitely call this guy a jackpot card. He doesn't show up particularly often. So you might not have him maxed out, assuming you have him at all. So I would say in regards just in regards to this particular banner, I would consider this guy to be a jackpot card. Super Saiyan 3 Brawly. I mean, what can I say? He's one of the worst units in the game. Desperately needs an easy A. I don't know what they're waiting on. If you don't have this guy maxed out yet, it'll be a good idea to have him maxed out, because when he gets an easy A, he's probably going to be like beast mode. Just an absolute unit. Don't quote me on that, just in case they fuck up and give him a shitty easy A. But if they give him an easy A and it's really good, you're going to be glad that you had this guy maxed out. Because you're probably going to be running him on some endgame category teams. Stuff like Super Saiyan 3 category, stuff like that. Not a great card by any stretch of the imagination. I don't even know why they have him on this fucking banner, but he's here. And then you have Zamasu as SR. So, in terms of banner quality, I'd say the Gotenks banner is a little bit better. But there's units that are good on this particular banner as well, as far as like the featured jackpot unit is considerably better. All right. So before we finish up, I'm going to go ahead and do a multi-summon on both banners, just so you can all feel my pain. The chunky beef pulling experience. So you can all cry. Ooh, I think we might actually get something good out of this. Trunks and Mime. I don't know if we're gonna get anything good out of this, but let's hope. Tech Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. I think this maxes out mine, so I'll take it. That's fine. Hopefully I don't get more. Demon Kick Piccolo, the strength one. Interesting. I don't think I've seen this one. He's a DB Saga leader. Interesting. Interesting. I don't even know if he... I don't even know what he becomes when he Dokkan Awakens. Oh, he does Dokkan Awaken, but... Oh, he becomes Demon King Piccolo, but not Elder. Yeah. Pop that up here on the SSR viewer, yeah. Not bad, actually. Having a DB Saga leader will be useful, because I don't have this guy yet. Defense plus 100%, key plus 3 attack plus 200% for 5 turns. That's really not bad. That's not bad at all. Like, he's not amazing, but that's pretty solid for what he's got there. I can probably find a use for this guy at some point, so that's a good pull. Let's go ahead and lock this bad boy, along with my Gotenks. Hurrah! Actually, one of the better pulls I've had in a long time. Sad to say. And that wasn't even a good pull. Not what a lot of people would consider to be a good pull, anyway. I'm not expecting anything amazing out of this. I get Super Saiyan 3 Goku all the time, so I try not to get hype. Oh boy, another Bosch multi. Ooh, Fasha. Thanks for that Super Saiyan 3 animation for a fucking strength Fasha. Ooh. Wow. Well, that's a chunky beef pulling experience. Alright, we'll do one more in each of them because I'm going to be doing all the pulls anyway, so fuck it. Maybe we'll have better luck on the... Oh, no. Well, that's a bad sign. Give me that garbage multi. I want it, daddy. Oof. Big time oofers. Paragus. I need Deuce for that guy anyway, so that's fine, I guess. I guess. At least I'm not spending like the full 50 for these junk multis. That's the saving grace. Oh boy, another junk multi. Give it to me, daddy. Don't even know why I bother anymore. Got the Super Saiyan 3 animation for probably nothing. Give it to me. Why are they giving me Super Saiyan 3 animations for like the guaranteed SSR at the end? Oh, come on. It's not even a good one. Maybe if this guy ever gets an easy A. But I doubt it. Alright, I'm gonna do the rest off screen so I can fucking cry myself to sleep afterwards. But yeah, that's it. This video was longer than anticipated, but isn't that how it always works out? But anyway, thanks for hanging out with me. I hope your guys' pulls are better than mine. But again, that's a low hurdle for you to jump over. I only got like a few good units out of that, but they were only good because I didn't have one of them. But yeah, great luck with your pulls. Hope you do well. Have a great time.